Vaccines typically require years of research and testing before reaching the clinic, but scientists are racing to produce a safe and effective coronavirus vaccine by next year. Researchers are testing 78 vaccines in clinical trials on humans, and at least 163 preclinical vaccines are under active investigation in animals. These are the top companies that are in race to bring COVID-19 vaccine for us. All these companies are in their phase 3 trial now. Once phase 3 trial is completed, it will take few months to make vaccine available for public use globally. Please note, there may be serious side effects of the vaccine if it's not tested properly.
Phase 1 safety trials. Scientists give the vaccine to a small number of people to test safety and dosage as well as to confirm that it stimulates the immune system. Phase 2 expanded trials. Scientists give the vaccine to hundreds of people split into groups, such as children and the elderly, to see if the vaccine acts differently in them. These trials further test the vaccine's safety and ability to stimulate the immune system. Phase 3 efficacy trials. Scientists give the vaccine to thousands of people and wait to see how many become infected, compared with volunteers who received a placebo. These trials can determine if the vaccine protects against the coronavirus.
On November 30th, the Boston-based company Moderna announced they were applying to the Food and Drug Administration for an emergency use authorization, less than a year after they began the first clinical trial for a coronavirus vaccine. It is the second application, coming just 2 weeks after Pfizer and BioNTech. If Moderna receives the authorization, the first injections of its vaccine could start on December 21st.
New York-based Pfizer and the German company BioNTech made history by presenting preliminary data indicating that their coronavirus vaccine was over 90% effective. It was the first time anyone had found such evidence. On December 2, the United Kingdom gave emergency authorization to Pfizer and BioNTech's vaccine, becoming the first Western country to give such an approval to a coronavirus vaccine. The company has also submitted a request for an emergency use authorization from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. The FDA is expected to take several weeks to review the application.
The Gamaleya Research Institute, part of Russia's Ministry of Health, has created a vaccine based on 2 adenoviruses. Preliminary results announced in November indicate that the vaccine has a high efficacy rate in phase 3 trials. On August 11, President Vladimir Putin announced that a Russian healthcare regulator had approved the vaccine, renamed Sputnik V, before phase 3 trials had even begun. Vaccine experts decried the move as risky, and Russia later walked back the announcement, saying that the approval was a conditional registration certificate, which would depend on positive results from phase 3 trials. The Chinese company CanSino Biologics developed a vaccine based on an adenovirus called Ad5. Starting in August, CanSino began running phase 3 trials in a number of countries, including Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, and Russia. China has approved this vaccine for use while it's in its phase 3 trial. For worldwide users, this vaccine may be available in first quarter 0 2021.
Johnson & Johnson developed vaccines for the coronavirus. In March they received $456 million from the United States government to support their move towards production. The vaccine has provided protection in experiments on monkeys. Johnson & Johnson began phase half trials in July and launched a phase 3 trial with up to 60,000 participants in September. Unlike other phase 3 trials, Johnson & Johnson administered just a single dose instead of 2. Phase 3 trial is in progress. We may expect vaccine soon if trial is successful.
The British-Swedish company AstraZeneca and the University of Oxford developed a vaccine based on a chimpanzee adenovirus. On November 23, they announced that a preliminary analysis of their phase 3 trial revealed the vaccine was up to 90% effective, depending on the dosage. Vaccine is expected to be out for public use by first quarter of 2021.
Maryland-based Novavax makes vaccines by sticking proteins onto microscopic particles. They've taken on a number of different diseases this way. Their flu vaccine finished phase 3 clinical trials in March. The company launched trials for a COVID-19 vaccine in May, and the Coalition for Epidemic Preparedness Innovations has invested $384 million in the vaccine. In July, the U.S. government awarded Novavax another $1.6 billion to support the vaccine's clinical trials and manufacturing. Novavax launched a Phase 3 trial enrolling up to 15,000 volunteers in the United Kingdom. It is expected to deliver results in early 2021. A larger Phase 3 trial in the United States is expected to launch by the end of December.
Canada-based Medicago, partly funded by the cigarette maker Philip Morris, grow vaccines in a plant called Nicotiana benthamiana. They deliver virus genes into leaves, and the plant cells then create protein shells that mimic viruses. On October 23, the company announced it had reached an agreement with the Government of Canada to supply 76 million doses. A Phase 2/3 trial of the vaccine began on November 12. Phase 3 trial is in progress, and if the result is successful, then vaccine can be expected by first quarter of 2021.
The Chinese company Anhui Jiafei and the Chinese Academy of Medical Sciences partnered to make a vaccine. They launched Phase 3 trials with 29,000 volunteers in December. Vaccine release date not disclosed.
In collaboration with the Indian Council of Medical Research and the National Institute of Virology, the Indian company Bharat Biotech designed a vaccine called Covaxin based on an inactivated form of the coronavirus. Studies on monkeys and hamsters found that it provided protection against infection. In June, Bharat's coronavirus vaccine became the first created in India to go into clinical trials. While the results of the Phase half trials have yet to be published, an executive at Bharat told India Today that about 85 to 90% of the 1,000 volunteers produced antibodies to the coronavirus and experienced no serious adverse effects due to Covaxin. On October 23, the company announced they were initiating a Phase 3 trial. Bharat expects results in early 2021 and anticipates distributing the vaccine next June.
Hope you would be feeling relaxed that vaccine is coming very soon from multiple sources, and hopefully we will be back to our normal lifestyle. But there are many questions that are unanswered about vaccine, like: can the vaccines stop virus transmission? How long will the vaccines be protective? How safe are the vaccines, really? How many shots do we need to take for this vaccine? Will corona be back after vaccination? Will it be easy to get rid of corona if we are infected after getting vaccine? And many more. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel to get the every update. Please do not forget to forward this video to others to share this information.